What is freedom of speech and why it is important?
Freedom of speech and freedom of belief are well connected because freedom of speech basically means that you can speak what you believe. You can share it with other people. You can find people who share your belief because you talk about it. And of course, you can change other people's mind by talking about it. And of course, it's very important if you live in a democracy, because how people can make up their mind who they should vote for, who they should decide to run their country, if those people and everyone else cannot say and talk about what they think is going wrong and what should be changed.
So what I'm gathering is that democracy and freedom of speech, they go hand to hand, right?
Yeah, I would say that. Because without freedom of speech, you can't have a proper democracy. To get to a point where you can make democratic decisions together, you need to talk about the problems, the solutions, and everything that happens, so that the majority, which rules in a democracy, can make a decision which way they want to go.
Where to draw the line when it comes to freedom of speech? Do you think there should be a line, or there is a line where we say like, okay, freedom of speech exists until here, and after that, there's a line that doesn't come under freedom of speech?
So that's a very difficult question to answer. That's why there are many different approaches in different countries. For instance, if you go to one spectrum, you've got the United States, where freedom of speech is very broad. So you can say a lot of things, and they draw the line. For instance, if you yell fire in a full room, even though there is no fire, because then your speech has that big of a consequence that people can get hurt and even people can die. In European countries, and especially Germany, freedom of speech is a little more narrow, because if you call someone names, that could be considered a crime in Germany, because that's not covered by freedom of speech. Because the German government thinks, okay, to tell what's going on, to tell what's the problem, and to voice your opinion, you don't need to call anyone names to do that. So that's why there are a lot of different approaches.
So it means Donald Trump will be held accountable in Germany what he tweets, right?
Well,
Because he like he's kind of the master of calling names, you know?
I would guess that if you look through Donald Trump's tweets, you would find at least something which could be prosecuted under German law, yeah. But yeah, this is a decision which a society has to make. You know, like, especially in regards to hate speech. Do you want hate speech to be covered by freedom of speech, even though the only purpose of hate speech is to hurt someone? I would argue that should be an exception to freedom of speech, because you can voice your discomfort and you can voice that you are not agreeing to something by not using hate speech and by not calling anyone names.
And I think it has a lot to do with agree to disagree kind of situation, you know? Like you can be still respectable when you don't agree with someone, but at the same time, you can share your opinion. For me, this is like freedom of speech. For example, if you are talking about a religion, or if you are talking even about sexuality of somebody, you can be respectful and you can share your opinion. What do you think about it? But be respectful.
Yeah, I think that's the major thing with the different approaches, where to draw the line, what is respectful enough so that it falls under freedom of speech, and what is that disrespectful that you don't allow it, because it just causes more harm than benefit.